Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. This is Money Come, Money Come, Money Come, or Money Falls Joy. I can't remember the name of this call. And
Money
it's
Come, Money
call 3, and it's now January 2017. So, how are we going with the book?
I've been a little bit lazy with it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But I've been sniffing lots of money.
Cool. So, what if you're not being lazy with it? What if it was just, sometimes it's time just to take a break from things and you can pick them back up?
Yeah.
That's cool. So we were supposed to be up to like chapter 6. Have we read up to chapter 6?
I've read the whole lot.
Cool. So you've done it once through?
Yeah.
All right. Well, just start again from the beginning. We're just going to keep going.
Okay.
Because Gary recommends reading it at least like 100 times. And I get the reason for it is a lot of these ideas and beliefs and limitations around money are so deep-rooted and they're so interconnecting and there's so many different facets to them. To actually change it at a cellular level, or actually to change it so it clears it so you can create something different, is going to take you persisting with it. Not persisting from the space of like it has to be forced or it has to be like it has to be done, but every time you clear something and you have an awareness, these ideas and beliefs have been around for so many thousands and thousands of years, and it's such a heavy topic in society. It literally is going to take that level of commitment to create something different. Hey, Miss Tosca.
Hello.
How are you, sweetness? Happy New Year.
Good. Happy New Year.
How are you? We missed you today. We started the new foundation. We literally just finished about just 4 minutes before we started this call. So it's been a really busy day, but very, 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 very exciting. So
It's been an awesome day.
Yeah, it's been a really awesome day. Really awesome day. So if I look a little tired, I don't know if I do look a little tired. It might just be the lighting. I feel great. I feel great. So how have we been? Like, what's changed about your money flows that you haven't yet acknowledged since starting doing this call? So we started back in November. Has anything changed in your realities?
Yes. Do I enter now?
Go ahead.
So, I mean, I really had the awareness probably today that I need to start journaling more like you suggested last time. Like I started and then holidays got in the way, and I didn't acknowledge it as much.
Yeah.
But just like little things, like even going to pay for my physio and doctor today, went to pay for the doctors and they put it as a bulk bill rather than me having to pay, and then went to, a physio and went to swipe my card, and last time I went it was asking do I want to use all my bonuses, and I said yes because I didn't want to cost the money. And it asked it again today and it didn't charge me, which is really unusual. I think there was, so just a few little things like that, just, and when I was down in Sydney just wandering around and found, $10 on the ground and,
I love how you're saying that these are all little things.
Yeah.
Now, I want you just to look at everything you just said and everything you just created in regards of, this is adding like actual cash to your life.
Yeah.
Now, let's just imagine everything you created as cash as a bonus and discount. Now let's pretend it went the other way. You lost $10 on the floor. You ended up having to pay double at the doctor's. You didn't have any points and you lost points. What kind of, do you see the difference between the two realities?
Yeah.
So if that had happened and you lost the money, quote unquote, what would the energy be like for you then?
Not good.
Would you be, so is there more of an intensity when you've lost money and it's really sad, whereas just now you kind of was just like, oh yeah, it's just those little things. Would it be a little?
Yeah, so it's more intense.
It's more intense.
It's more intense. Yeah.
Cool.
Has someone got their TV on?
Okay.
Has someone got their TV on or something? I can hear.
I might just mute everybody. Okay. And then anytime you want to talk, just unmute yourselves. We'll do it that way. So how often do we actually only acknowledge the loss of money, or in any scenario? And this could apply to, like, I'm going to say money, but it's in every situation in our lives when something is lost, like whether it's the loss of a relationship or the health of our bodies or money. There's such an intensity there. So what have we made so vital, valuable, and real about only having intensity through the drama and trauma of our lives rather than the intensity of creation? And everything that is, and everything that brings up, can we destroy and create it?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. So truly, truly, what is the intensity of creation? So what you created, the $10 on the floor, the discount at the doctor's, your angels or your guides or your team creating it so you didn't have to pay for things, even though it looks like it disappeared, you actually have these energies contributing to you. So yeah. What's the energy like there? Is it just like, oh yeah, whatever?
Oh yeah, probably, maybe.
Oh yeah, whatever. And oh, I have no money. And oh, it's not happening fast enough. And it's not like a lot of money.
It's more like I didn't have to pay for that.
Oh, I got away with it.
Yeah.
But it's not sustainable, and it's not realistic, and it's not something you created.
Yeah, it's just lucky.
Just got lucky. So can you say that 3 times for me? I just got lucky.
I just got lucky. I just got lucky. I just got lucky.
Oh, hell yeah, you did. All the Shiku implants and explants, holding that in place, can we destroy it and create it?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. I'm back. So how much of when something amazing happens because you made a choice, you created it, you are the creative source, do we put down to potluck? So everywhere you've never acknowledged.
Shitloads of it.
Yeah. Well, everywhere you've not acknowledged the potluck that you've been creating, can you destroy and create all that?
Yes.
Good and bad, good and poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. Now, the universe has no point of view around whether you have $10 on the floor or you created $100 worth of bills you didn't have to pay for, or $1,000 or $1 million. It doesn't have any point of view. But if you don't start acknowledging, and I've said this before, to the miracles you are creating, how are you then going to almost say to the universe, oh my God, thank you, I'm on board and I'm enjoying this and I'll have more of that? And not from a wrongness, but just, I'll have more of that, please. I'll have more of that. So can you even do that now? Like everything you created today, what would it take for more of that to show up? What would it take? Use the what would it take question. What would it take for that to show up, exponentialize with total ease every day as a reality? Hey, Rebecca. How you doing? It's beautiful. Where she is beautiful. Oh my goodness. It's really nice. How are you, B, my friend? So just to mute you.
I'm good.
Great.
We're not muted.
You are unmuted. What's been going on for you since you've been doing the money workbook? Has there been any lightness, any awarenesses, anything showing up differently for you?
I think the awarenesses of just the multiple income streams that there are, that I have already, and maybe have forgotten about, or haven't really been actioning for maybe even a very long time. So yeah, there's that. It had felt like everything was going out. But I've tried really, I've made every effort to just not attached to that. And I think that's been the biggest lesson, has been to just go, sometimes it does go out, and not, and just keep going out. So it's just been not letting that sort of, and also not being hard on myself based on the fact that I've been using these tools for 3 months, and probably quite heavily with using bars as well, only for 2 months. So
Checking
I think
myself
that's out. You look awesome.
I couldn't really see myself before. I was sitting here in the dark, and I was like, oh.
I'm dark. I'm in the twilight.
It's so true. Like, giving yourself a hard time about when you're spending and when you're not spending. Like, so how much of our lives and how much of our realities, whether it came from our parents or society, do we abuse ourselves financially? And what I mean by financial abuse is every time we've said, this is too much money for you to spend on yourself. This is, I cannot justify spending this money. Every time, it's things like, wasting food or whatever it is. It's like when you go into, oh my God, you're just wasting it. Like, you threw the food out, you're wasting it, you have no honoring of money, blah, 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 blah. So how many places and spaces do we actually function from abusing ourselves around spending money, not creating enough money, not receiving enough money, and all of those places where we continue to abuse ourselves? So everywhere we are abusing ourselves and using the abuse to actually keep us small. And how many people have taught us to abuse ourselves with money as well? And now we're perpetrating it on ourselves. So everything that is, would we destroy and create it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So what is the abuse of money? And what is the abuse of yourself around money? Where do you abuse yourself with money? So one of the things could be like keeping yourself poor. 2 could be like, just as an example, not allowing yourself to enjoy the things you're spending it on. Like, there's always a little voice going, I shouldn't have done that. And you need to come up with like a million justifications as to why you've spent it. That's abusing yourself with money. Waiting for things to like, tear or wear out. Like, you're just not going to give yourself what you require. And then abusing yourself by not even creating money and spending it and not having it. So all the schematics around the abuse of money, can we destroy and create it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So I'm just going to touch on a couple of things that have come about from the summer tour with Gary and Dane. And one of the things was schematics. So I don't know if any of you guys have heard of the schematics at the moment. So if you imagine like you guys are like a mobile phone or a computer or something like that. Now on there you have basically, you can change the color of your background. You can download different apps and you can play with it. So these are all the tools, and you can change it. You can manipulate them. You can use them. You can clear things because you can delete it and all of that. But your actual operating system or the SIM card is actually the schematics of you. So it doesn't allow you to change anything if your operating system stays the same. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the operating system is actually the schematics that hold all these things in place. And it's like this thing that you have at the core of your being or at the center of your being where you're like, everything functions from that space. So one of the things we started doing over the summer was to talk about the schematics of all these things, which is actually deleting this operating system or changing this operating system that we function from. So when I say, can we destroy and create all the schematics of abuse with money? It's actually talking about, can we go back to the operating systems where we continue to go back to in a different way? So you may have like destroyed and created not spending money and enjoying that, but then you'll abuse yourself by not having it. So it just changes, but the abuse still stays. Does that make sense? Yeah. So what you could start doing as one of your play works this week is just start destroying and creating all the schematics holding anything in place. So can we destroy and create all the schematics around money, finance, cash, and wealth? Yeah, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And the second thing I wanted to introduce you guys to was at the Being You facilitators, we also then got to, as you do more clearings, and I know some of you guys, I'm really sorry, I know you haven't done foundation. I know Alex hasn't even done a bars class, but I'm sorry, Alex. I don't know how to do a beginner's class. I'm really sorry, but here we are. You're just going to have to jump on the bandwagon and just go with it. But please get somebody to run your bars after we do these calls because it'll really help your body. But the other thing we really got to is the more you start to become somebody who's aware of your judgments. So would you say you're starting to become more aware of judgments that you have around money, when you're spending it, when you're not spending it, and it comes up, it's like, oh, wow, that was a total judgment. There was a judgment of myself. It was a judgment of the money. It was a judgment of this person spending money. Are you becoming more aware of your judgments around money, where you judge you or anybody else? Yeah? And would you say increasingly more since you've been doing Access, you've started to become more and more aware of judgments? Yeah. So what starts to happen is the more Access you do, the more you start to clear, the more you start to become really good, and there becomes less and less judgments. But what you become is really skillful, and you end up having something called a refined judgment. Just like a refined bit of sugar, you start to become very sneaky with your judgments. And it comes in the form of, oh, my awareness is, I'm not going to take foundation. It's my awareness. No, it's a refined judgment. Computer says no. And then you'll say things like, oh, my body wants to, finish the sentence, only have a juice today or a green salad today. It's a refined judgment. So everywhere we've been going into, like, my awareness is, have you noticed how sometimes people say it like, oh, what I'm aware of is, and you know when they say it, there's something really interesting about that sentence in itself, and occasionally you want to jump on their head and just be like, shut up, like, or maybe that just happens for me, or maybe it happens for all of us, or sometimes you kind of like, really, that's your awareness? It doesn't quite sit right for some reason. Or when people are like, oh, it's not light for me. I've heard that so much. It's not light for me, as though that's the determining factor of their choices. No, your choice is what you choose. Your light on heavy is just to get the energy of what you desire to create. It's not the truth if you've actually been coating it under all the schematics. Your light and heavy sometimes is distorted if you're not functioning from clarity. It could still be functioning from a judgment. So have you noticed how some people say, oh, it's not light for me, and you're listening to them thinking, that's a lie. That's all the refined judgments. So that's one thing we've been really, really playing with. And it seems to be getting all those little places where you lie to yourself about what an awareness is, what light is, what heavy is, what you think you know. And when you're justifying your choices, and even with things like me as a facilitator, I'd started to get that there was a part of me that would not always do this, but kind of start planning what I thought people needed, which is a refined judgment. Like, how do I know what you need? I don't know what you need. I have no idea. I am here to follow the energy, period. But these things called refined judgments have you thinking you're following an awareness, but actually it's just a judgment. But very refined, specialized, and sneaky, and very, very, very sneaky that you don't even see it. So all our refined judgments around money, on what money is and what money isn't, can we destroy and create it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So that's two of the things that pretty much came from facilitators, is the schematics, which is the operating systems of your life, and then the refined judgments, which are the sneaky ways you pretend you're following your awareness, but actually what you're doing is stuffing yourself from the greatest possibility. Because when you're knowing, being, perceiving, and receiving, it's a lightness you don't need to explain. It's not a lightness you talk about. It's just an awareness, and it's a split second. And it's something you just know. You don't really talk about it. It's those moments where magic happens. You can't really explain it to people. Anywhere else where you're doing this is light, this is what my body says, this is my awareness, is a refined judgment. So I just wanted to explain that, because I thought I keep referring to refined judgments and schematics, and you're all going, just trying to clear this, like, what is that? What is that? What is that? Okay, so that's a refined judgment, and they're everywhere. And what I would recommend is start clearing the refined judgments in all areas of your lives. Sorry, let me just deal with something. Sorry, your teammates or your headless, bodiless friends are very loud today. So I just wanted to acknowledge them. You can do your refined judgments around money, finances, lovers, relationships, your body. And honestly, I just really think it sometimes isn't linear. You could change something around your body and your money flow changes. You can change something around, you could clear something around money and your relationship changes. So, okay, sometimes these things don't even look or show up the way you think or perceive they should show up. Okay, so everywhere we have been looking for a linear result, because you're doing the money workbook, it means more money. Because you're doing the money workbook, it means you're going to get a cash flow. Because you're doing the money workbook, it means blah, blah, blah. So everywhere you have projected a future expectation, because you're now doing the money workbook, can we destroy and create all the refined judgments around that, the schematics around that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And one thing I really, really got clear, because I was choosing these classes, and as you guys are too, and often when we're looking at like choosing a class and not choosing a class, I don't know if you guys go into this, but there was some of this going on for me. So I don't know if it's relevant, but this whole idea of this is not making me rich. Like, this isn't creating money in my bank account. Like, I can't count it. I'm spending it. So this is where I started to look at the two areas, and Shannon O'Hara talked about it in her call, so it kind of made me go click. And she talked about how we've glumped different types of wealth together. So she sort of separated the two and talked about the wealth of your being. So that's your bank account of your being, and your bank account that's actually a physical cash flow. So the two bank accounts, So as a result of taking access and the money that you're spending, Rebecca, Tosca, like all of you guys, is you're being wealthier and richer. Like, so your life is more joyful, your life is more expansive, your life is easier. So this is the wealth or your bank account of your being. And then the bank account of your actual, like, physical money is a separate bank account. So everywhere we've glumped the two together, where we're going, this is spending money, and this is like creating a cash flow. And everywhere we've glumped the wealth, like the cash flow of our being, with the cash flow of our bank accounts, can we destroy and create all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And I don't know if that helps, but it started to make me look at these choices and go, oh, this is creating wealth as a being. This is creating wealth as like a bank account, like actual ching cash. Because there's people out there that are super wealthy as a being. Like they have so much joy and they're radiant and they're happy. And so that's why a lot of people say when you go to Indonesia, they're the poorest people in the world and they're happy. They have the wealth of being. And then you might have people who are super duper rich, but miserable and have a zero bank account as a being. And now what we'd actually ideally like is a wealthy being and have a rich bank account as a being, but also have a rich bank account as a body and an entity and having cash as well. So everywhere we've been only operating, having one type of wealth, like happiness, what's the phrase? Money doesn't make you happy. And everywhere we've lumped that together, like as though the wealth of the being, the joy, the happiness, blah, 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 the awareness and consciousness and all of that means we can't have a rich bank account or vice versa. Can we destroy and create all the judgments and schematics holding any of those, holding binding patterns in place? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And anywhere else, we're still operating from an either or universe. Like it's either this or it's either that. It can be this or it can be that. Anywhere that's like sort of holding in place around money and cash, can we destroy and create it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what would you guys like your financial reality to be in 2017? Any words coming up?
Luxurious, VIP.
I love it. Luxurious, VIP.
Freedom of choice.
Choosing. Yep. So Alex, freedom of choice, truth. Do you need lots of money to be able to choose?
No. It's I guess it's more coming down to, like, I know I'm free in a way without money if I compare other countries. As a woman, you know, I can walk around the street and be free. I know that. I guess it's more coming down to not relying on my Monday to Friday job. I can do work from wherever I want. I think that's sort of the goal, and be able to have spent or buy whatever, you know, if I see it, without thinking about, oh, can I afford this? You know, take mum on a great trip to Africa and things like that, without worrying too much about, you know, how much do I need to save up for it?
Okay.
That sort of freedom. Yeah.
Okay, so there's like a few things there. Hopefully I'll get them all, because you were like speaking quite fast. Oh no, there's that. So I don't know if the rest of you noticed, like, is there a lot of judgment there for what you're not able to do right now? So I can't take my mom on holiday. I want to be able to take her on holiday. I can't buy
No,
what I want to buy wherever I want to buy it. And this is not a wrongness. I'm just going to go straight to the energy, because if there's any level of judgment and wrongness in your world for not being able to be that, it's almost like you're pushing it out of your reality anyway. Because what's the value of judging you for not, like, there's a difference between an ask and then the way you sort of asked it, there was almost like this sadness of you having not achieved it or been it, or it's not available right now.
Oh, I think it's the reason why it's not available is because not necessarily the money, it's the time. Because I going back to work, things like that.
Yep. Okay.
It's not necessarily that I don't have the money to go to Africa. It's more the, well, you know, the commitments, I guess.
Cool. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you really don't judge yourself for.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So all of the judgments of how you should be and how you could be, and everywhere you're like, I know this is possible, so why can't I get there? Or I will get there one day and I will do it no matter what it takes, from force, pushing, and I will make it because I am South African and that's what we do. Can we destroy it and create? Everywhere you're whipping yourselves like these donkeys into creating. That is not creation, folks. That is judgment. Let's destroy it and create it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all night shorts, boys, and beyond. Gosh, you said a few things. I think it will just keep coming back because I can't remember what else you said now. All right, it'll come. It'll come.
Sorry, I'm invisible. I don't know how to get my video back.
We can see you.
We can see you.
We can see you.
I can't see myself.
Don't pick your nose. We can see you.
Okay, cool. Well, I just wanted to read this one that I saw on the Crazy Possible Experiment site, which really struck a chord with me. What would it take to have more money than I could ever imagine possible, and all the magic I have available to me to show up with ease, please? And I'd like to adjust that a little bit, but I really like that one.
Yeah, that is great.
I want to create that ease of where you are. You're creating something that you just know is right. You know it's using your talents, and I feel that's the biggest thing. You know, that you can sell ice to snowmen if you really believe in it and you have that energy with you.
Yeah,
and that's where I want to function from.
Fantastic. I love that. So where do you function from that already that you haven't yet acknowledged?
In a lot of places.
Awesome.
Just not in the workplace at the moment. I do a little bit, but I'm determined I'm changing that. As I told, I'm running away with the circus.
Yeah, of course. But even whilst you're at work at the moment, what could that job contribute to you? Are you willing to have more fun than anybody else there?
I just sit and listen to clearings all day and nobody bothers me.
Yeah, like what's right about that? Like I remember I listened in my last job, I literally got to listen to all these classes all day, every day. I was so grateful to have the space to be able to do that.
Yeah.
How much gratitude
I'm grateful for that.
For creating a space where you have the time to be able to do what you're actually loving doing. And it's paying you.
Yeah.
There is actually brilliance in that if you choose to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And so now, universe, show me something even greater. You created that. And it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So with your job situation, I get the question could just be, is now the time?
It's now the time.
Is now the time? Is now the time?
I'm sorry it wasn't today, but Today wasn't the day to quit.
Today wasn't the day to quit. Great. What else is possible? You know? And what if quitting isn't the thing? It's the choosing of the energy you desire as your future. So right now, like we have this thing where I'm not going to choose the trip to South Africa, or I'm not going to choose this because I don't have the time, or I don't have this, or I don't have, like, the justifications are endless. Time and money are the best excuses for not choosing what's actually going to create for you. They're brilliant. Brilliant. Everybody can come up with that and nobody can argue it, even you. Can you argue against time and not having money? No, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. Great. That's right, you're so pathetic, you could never create the time or the money, could you? No, poor little me. I don't have the time and I don't have the money. So I'm going to call you up on your bullshit excuses, folks. And it is just that. It is bullshit. Yeah. We all know. So this is the thing. Choice creates. We keep seeing it. We keep seeing it everywhere. We keep seeing it everywhere. It's in the buyer's manual. It's everywhere. Choice creates. First, you choose. The universe's job is to reconfigure and bring to you everything you're asking for. That's not your job. Stop trying to do it for the universe. It's almost like we go, let's ask and we shall receive. So we ask the question, the universe starts to reconfigure and bring it to us, and we go into, well, how am I going to make it happen now? Oh, where do I need to go? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do this? We go into the doing of it rather than the awareness of it. So you're asking and you're making a choice moment by moment depending on the awareness. It's not linear and it doesn't make sense. Everything we've ever been told is the opposite. So how many times do we save up and then we choose the dress we want to buy? We save up and then we choose the holiday we want to buy. We save up and then we have the class we want to go to. We save up and then we go spoil our friends for a present or blah, 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 blah. The universe works in complete opposite. When you choose, it starts to do everything it can to determine giving you that thing or providing you with that thing you've been asking for. And it shows up. But that would be too easy, wouldn't it? What would your job be if you let the universe take over its job and allow it to gift to you in ways it would like to? What the hell would you do then? I think you might be having way too much fun. I don't even know what you would do. Like, are you able to handle having so much fun? I mean, right now, the job of the universe is this huge, humongous job because it isn't doing a great enough job, so you have to take over. So everywhere you've assigned yourself the job that's not your job, can we now literally sack yourself from that job? You've been sacked, you've been dismissed. You've been dismissed, the universe is now going to take over. Your job is to be, your job is to choose, and your job is to follow the awareness. Your job is to be joy, your job is to be you. That's it, that's your job. And everything else does come to you. So everything that is, let me just destroy it and create it, right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all night shots, boys and beyonds. Tell me 3 ways you have created money like magic. What you've just asked might just be a glimmer of a thought and it showed up. That was you working with the universe. Now think of a time where you've really wanted something and you've asked for it, but instead of waiting for the awareness or allowing the universe to bring it to you with ease, you've taken over and gone, nope, it's going to show up like this, like this, like this. Thank you, universe, for your kind offer, but I've got this handled. I'm going to force this. I'm going to push this. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to make this happen. Everywhere you've been doing that, how's that working out? Yeah, didn't think so. So everywhere we're making it hard. And everywhere it has to be hard. And everywhere we can only choose through control, logic, linear reality, through our thoughts, feelings, and emotion around money and cash flow, can we destroy and create it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. So I used to do this thing years ago, and I don't know if it's going to be a contribution to you guys, but I used to have 2 sheets of paper. And it was when I was doing this mental job at Catholic education, and my role was so intense that I didn't have enough time. So I was time starved. And that's just another way of saying I lack something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have enough of this, so therefore, like, I can't choose to have ease, blah, 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 or I don't have enough sleep. The excuses just went on and on and on. So I took out 2 sheets of paper every single day, and on these pieces of paper, I put my job on one of them, universe's job. And I started making requests. Initially, I didn't get that the universe already had a job. I thought I was assigning the job, so superior me was assigning the jobs. But you guys could start choosing to do this, where you make a list. So my job most days was to take care of my body, which was by having fun, laughing, like running, swimming, whatever it was that was joyful for my body. That was my job. To show up, to be present, to enjoy what I was doing, or to hate it, whichever. My job was to be. That was all tasks around being. Being fun, being joyful, being present. It was all being tasks. And then I would put down the list for the universe. And the list for the universe would be things like, oh, to create ease on the roads, to have things fall into place for me just as I arrive, to, you know, have the money show up. And it was just really quite distinct, where I could see initially I had taken on so many jobs and I wasn't receiving from the universe. So everywhere your job is to take on the tasks that are not yours, and you've been trying to do them for so long and not succeeding, do you want to give it up and give it back to the universe? Yeah. Ready to give it up. So the universe's job is to bring you that joy that you get when you want to be at the circus. So whatever you want to do, what are the energies you desire the universe to bring to you? Your job is to be that energy now. So if it's wealth, really perceive the energy of wealth. You don't need to be wealthy to get the energy. But we seem to do the other way around. We wait for the wealth and then we'll choose the energy, because then we get it. So truth, do you get the energy of wealth right now? Could you perceive the energy of riches? And if you can't, think of somebody who has money in your reality that has an ease with it. And if you want to choose somebody like Gary. He's got a real sense of ease with money and wealth. And have that energy. What is that energy? Show me. And then just be it. Be it. You can be it right now. What is the energy of having lots and lots of money? It's an energy. You can be that right now. You don't need to wait for it to come. But by being the energy of that, what starts to happen is the universe is also configuring itself so it can actually have it match and become congruent for you in ways that are easier and more joyful and less practical than you think. So everywhere we've not been willing to know, be, perceive, and receive the gifts of the universe in totality with total ease, can we destroy and create it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. So all our refined judgments about working hard and not having enough time, can we destroy and create it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. Can we destroy and create all our refined judgments around choice and what choosing is? How to choose? Oh, I'm choosing. All those areas, you know, where you're like, oh, I'm choosing this. I smell bullshit. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. I hear justification. And I'm not just saying this to you guys, like I'm self-facilitating here as well. This is the beauty of doing these classes. You get to see the unconsciousness that you operate as a being as well. And we all do it because we've been trained to do it. We've been trained to lie to ourselves around the areas we actually really want to change. So all our justifications, conclusions, and decisions around choice, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And what is choice? It's your greatest trump card. You can pod and poc, you can take a class, you can do all of this stuff, but if you don't choose, nothing changes. So what choices could you start making today that are going to create the future you know is possible around money? And anything that doesn't allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, can we destroy and create it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So one thing I started really using in order to help make some choices or allow me to see something different in choices is the question, if money was for my body, what would I choose? Have I given you guys this question before? No. If money was for my body, what would I choose? If money was for my body, what would I choose today? If money was for my body, what would I eat today? Where would I eat today? Where would I spend it? If money was for my body, what would I choose to wear? So what if from today you start to choose what makes her being your body, really happy? Would that change your choices? That change some of your choices? Yeah. So if money was for my body, what would I choose? Would you be choosing more joyful activities? Would you choose to have like more sex and orgasms because that would make you more money? Or would you sit and read a book? What could you do that would actually start honoring your body the way it desires to be honored so it can help you to create money? Everywhere you've not acknowledged and everywhere you've not been willing to choose for your body, can you destroy and create all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So if money's for my body, what would I choose? Super cool question. It changed everything for me. It allowed me to like literally go, well, that's easy. Hey, Joanne. Happy New Year, sweetness.
Happy New Year.
So any questions coming up for anybody? Any ahas?
I totally agree with the time side of things because and I with the whole spending money thing that I was talking about before, that was actually something that is making me money. So I could find it easier to handle that way and not attached to it. Just go, you know. But I find the time side of things is it is that whole I think the biggest block is feeling that you have to trade one for the other.
Yeah.
And that, you know, that getting that ease. That's what I want. I want the ease. I want things. I just need to, like, I just creating something that will be making me money while I'm sleeping. And,
I love that.
And multiple different streams so that it's not just one thing. And the biggest drive for me lately has been just wanting to get away from this hourly rate shit, you know. Yeah. And it's not necessarily the hourly rate, as one of the Dane things is, you know, what rate would it be that would be like for you if it was, you know, maybe it is the low hourly rate or the medium hourly rate. But it's more that you have to be here at this particular time because we're open from this time to this time. And it's like, well, actually, I'm probably more effective between 8 and 11 o'clock at night, you know, but that's not business hours, you know.
Well, companies don't do things by, you know, honoring their staff and actually creating productivity. They're interested in something different, which is, I get you. It's always baffled me too. But I love what you've just said. Like, you're really clear on what you want to create. So could you acknowledge that? Like, you're totally clear on that. So anyway, you've not even acknowledged, like, you're like, oh, damn, like, I actually know what I desire to create. So now, universe, show me the energy of that and show me the next thing. So one step at a time. Like, you don't need to conclude where it's going to be and how it's going to come. The next step. Okay, now show me the next step. And keep being in the energy. Like, there was a moment where you were talking about it and I totally got the energy and it was so expansive. It was like, multiple streams of income whilst I'm sleeping. I want to be creative in that. I want to be juicy in that. I want to be loving this. And I know it's a possibility because other people have done it. So show me, keep showing me the energy of that and keep being the energy of that and keep asking the questions.
Yeah.
Because, this whole, as soon as you said it, I was like, wow, that's like really great that you know. So acknowledge that you already know what it is you wanted to create. And now it's almost like, how can it show up even greater than I can perceive?
Yeah.
What would it take for it to be easy and so clear that I can perceive what the next step is?
Yeah.
And what do I need to be or do to be able to meet the people who are going to help me create this, to be in the right place, the right time, like all of that stuff? And are you willing to listen to the whispers of awareness that are going to keep trickling through to allow you to be able to create what you want to create? And has it already happened and just hasn't actualized in physicality? So everywhere you've not acknowledged the future you've already created, because you already created it. The second you say it and you put the energy out there, the creation has started. So what would it take for it to actualize and come into fruition physically with total ease? Because creation is number one. Like, you created it by speaking about it and getting the energy of it. And then you want to really ask for it to become actualized here in physical reality. So it's here. So what generative space, energy, and consciousness can you be to have this actualized with total ease? Anything not allowing that, let's destroy and create it. Right and wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I think what I said was, what energy, space, and consciousness can you be to have this actualize in totality with total ease? Something like that. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. But maybe run something like that.
Cool.
And what else is possible? What else is possible? What else is possible?
Me learning how to type faster.
Or finding somebody who loves to type for you faster. Like, seriously, keep the box open. And what if you know how to type faster? It's just, it'll be fast enough. It'll be fast enough. That's awesome. And then the thing you said about time, like, you know, feeling restricted around time. Is time real? All right, so logically we know the answer is no. Energetically, is time real for you?
No.
Cool. So whose point of view is that?
Everybody else's.
Yeah, that's really cool. And
The clock watchers of the world.
so you're pretty magic, right? Yeah, there's Watchers of the World. I wonder how you could start playing with magic to be able to expand time and space when you require it. Are you willing to play with time in a way you know is possible?
That would be good.
Practice playing with it. Like, I remember when I first saw that happen. I mean, how many times have you guys gone race against the clock? Like, you need to get to the airport, you have 15 minutes and you're 45 minutes away and you made it. I mean, none of you have done that, have you? Like, you know, but these are the times when we're willing to be that energy of being able to mutate, transmute through time and space when there's an emergency. But what if there wasn't a requirement of emergency when we're requiring to expand time and space? So everywhere you're not willing to be the maestros, the energy of the 9 trannies to be able to adapt and change time and money. Can we destroy and create it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online shorts, boys, and beyond. It's like, there is ways you can start playing with these tools to really use them to your advantage. But the willingness to be magic seems to only appear when there's an emergency. All of a sudden we run out of money. What do you go and do? You go and create a whole ton, right? So would you be willing to let go of the need of an emergency to be able to create? And everything that is times a godzillion, destroying and create it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all night shorts, boys and beyond. And keep adding to your money flow, adding to your money flow, adding to it. I love that thing about time. I'll see if I can find, there's a great clearing that Dane gave us somewhere. I don't remember if it was on a call or something, and it was around time. And he said, play this and watch your world change, but play it with caution because it will change. But I'll see if I can find it. Okay, so remind me over the next few weeks to go back and listen to something, and if I find it, or ask somebody if they got the recording of that around time. Cool bananas. Anything else around money? What do we? So we talked about quite a bit: refined judgments, schematics, time. Time as a schematics, all the schematics around time. Do you want to destroy and create as well? And all the refined judgments around time, not having time, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online shorts, boys and beyonds. So, yeah, any questions coming up? So I wanted to talk to you guys about the workbook, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. And I get we haven't really looked at the workbook all that much. So if you've got pen and paper handy there, let's go to the first question. What is money? So come up with your 3 answers. What is money? Have we all got a few answers? So everything that is times a godzillion, can we destroy and create it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. What is money? Write down 3 more answers. Okay, we all got some answers? All right, so Miss Tosca, what is money? Let's unmute you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What is money?
Yes, I had energy exchange for my body and, again, freedom.
Awesome. So everything that is, do you want to destroy and create all those?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, L9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So now write down, what is money? Let's write down into the 3 answers. Okay, do you have 3 answers again, Tosca?
I have energy and currency.
Energy and currency. Great. So everything that is, destroy and create it?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay, let's go again. What is money? Write down your answers. What'd you get, Tosca?
Yeah, I've sort of come to an end, but I just sort of thought a lot of this is the lies I've told myself.
Awesome.
You know,
That's
like,
exactly right.
yeah.
That's how I'm feeling too. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's great. So I just wanted to show you, like, I know you've been working with the book, but what if this week you could choose like the one question, so you can just stay with what is money? And I just wanted to demonstrate it with you, because if you keep going with it and you pot and pock all of it quite quickly, you get to a space where there is no words. You get to a space where you stop buying the lies. And then from that space, what is money? What is it? And that's where we start to become inquisitive and questioning it and looking at it and being with it that is from no point of view. So anywhere you can be with anything with no point of view, you can actually create something different. At the moment, we have so many points of views actually running what we can create with it. There's so much significance on it. And 99% of them aren't even your thoughts, feelings, and emotions or knowing the point of views around money. So what is money? And then potting and pocking. What is money? Potting and pocking it. And this has been really great just before I've been going to spend it. Like, and then there's that little energy that comes up before, whatever that is. It's like, oh, so what is money right now? Oh, it's leaving me. Great. Everything that is, destroying and create it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyond. And I keep doing it until it literally clears the space. And then I'll ask it again, like, what is this? What is money? What is this? What is money? What is it? What is it? What is it? And literally starting to be with the space of interesting point of view from a very different place. Because this is like anything. This is mastery of your life. It's the deep-rooted stuff, like we said at the beginning of the call, that isn't going to just take one set of bars and reading the money workbook once to change it. This stuff has been embedded in our very being and our bodies for centuries. It's going to take some unlocking. But the difference is Is it starting to unlock, and is there more space with money than there has been a year ago? Now that's what you want to acknowledge. Every time there's a space created, acknowledge that. You changed something with money. Even if it's a small, tiny thing in your universe, you changed it. So if it's changeable to that degree, it's changeable in totality. So just don't give up with it. Like anytime you get like, I've been doing this money workbook for like weeks and nothing's showing up and it's supposed to be like magic. Let's just destroy and create everywhere we're judging ourselves or pushing ourselves to have results in this area that's actually really quite complex, deep, rooted, and has so many binding, locking contracts and so many points of views around it. So can we destroy and create all the results we have planned or expecting? Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And be willing to acknowledge the lightness every time something changes. The smallest shift is a change. The smallest shift is a miracle. The smallest shift is where you just chose something different and you've never chosen it before. You've got to really start acknowledging you as a being that's actually making these choices. They're very, very, very different. There is no quick fix. It's literally choosing, and it's making that a daily habit. And eventually you become that choice, and then you make different choices and you become that choice. And there's more and more lightness. And I keep talking about the body work, I know, but honestly, there are so many things locked up in our bodies that they continuously remind us of times in the past where we possibly have been murdered for money. And it's like, no, please remember, we don't want to do this. We were in so much pain. So unlocking all of that and running bars and getting the body processes run really allows your body to start having the ease around money as well. And if money's for your body, what would you choose? You would choose to nurture it more. You would probably choose to take a body class or 2 or 3 or 6, because that's where the magic is. It's not linear. Yeah, cool. So what's money, guys? Has anybody got any answers right now?
I got ability to do things good and needed.
Great. Do you want to destroy and create that?
I think so.
Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, online shorts, boys and beyonds. And then go again. What is money? And keep going with it. And maybe make this just your weekly task, or just choose one of the questions in the money workbook that really pops to you.
Yep.
Like which one is going to create the greatest? Like which question? And you can do it with the same, like what does money look like? And then just be with that question everywhere you go for the next 7 days, 2 days, 3 days, whatever you know is light. What does money look like? Oh, that's right. That's the question I'm going to play with this week. And start becoming masterful with your knowing and your awareness and your questioning. And stick with it. Play with it. It is changing. So these classes and these calls, the reason, like one of the reasons is we record them is because there's always little snippets of magic that comes through. And we hear probably around 7%, and we receive a little bit more than that. But there's little time bombs that I keep dropping in to each call that somewhere in the future you will hear it when you're ready. So a lot of this stuff with access is not, you hear the clearing and it changes, possibly. You hear the clearing and it changes 6 months from now. It might be 3 a.m. that you get up and you're like, whoa, shit. Holy, I just heard it right now. But it was time dropped last week, a month ago, today. So I do recommend like re-listening to some of these calls, because there's some really cool little time bombs that go off in the future. Some of these things are for the future when you're ready to open it and receive it and question it and be with that clearing. So don't think because you've taken a class in Access, like you've taken a Baz class, or you took the foundation class, or you took the choice possibilities like you did, Tosca, doesn't the magic just keep showing up in so many places months and years afterwards? So this is the beauty of this stuff. It never stops unlocking. It just unlocks when you're ready to make a choice. So everywhere you've not acknowledged that you already changed the future, and it will literally be, it's dropped into your lap, and the time bomb has gone off into your future and the entire universe. And your job is just to be with it and have the awareness that you already did that. You already did that. You already did that. And you just keep choosing and choosing and choosing. Could you acknowledge it now and receive those time bombs that are going off every day? And because you've already chosen it, you take it for granted. Let's just acknowledge it and destroy and create everywhere you've not been acknowledging that. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. You might have done something 6 months ago with your body for 5 minutes with somebody, and it unlocks something a year down the track. Not linear. It shows up, and you get it when you get it. Alrighty, we've got about 10 minutes to go. Is there any pressing questions or any areas we want to look at this week before the next 2 weeks? So we've done a lot of practical stuff, like looking at our spreadsheets about where we're spending. We did that at the beginning. We've looked at different questions. We've looked at the energy of being intimate with money. How is that going? Are you still being like that with money, like being with it, the energy of it? What's that like as an activity? They're creating intimacy with money. No. Yeah. No. Does somebody want to talk to me? How's it like being intimate with money? Are you still using that activity or exercise when you remember?
I've just started carrying the something around with me as a wealth tool. And I've been trying to sort of, I guess, become intimate with those items so that they, you know, I'm infusing them with my energy. And I've had them since I was probably 2 years old, but haven't necessarily had them in my possession. So, you know, they were, without saying too much, were a bequest from a godfather. So it was kind of you know, my first type of wealth in this lifetime, I guess, besides being lucky enough to be born here. So yeah, I sort of tried like looking at them and energizing them and that sort of thing. So that's only been a pretty recent effort, I guess.
That's awesome. And it doesn't have to be like when it is. It's just, you'll know when it is. It's like I said just like 5 minutes ago, these are like time bombs. They'll give you
it's kind of
cool,
fun.
Yeah. It is.
It's kind of like, oh, this is my little secret. When I go to the toilet at work and open it up and have a look and go, oh, you know, look what I'm carrying around with me. It's
like little gold coin. It's like, oh, this is fun, and it does start to be fun, and it is a joy. I can see that in your universe right now. It's like it's lighting you up. It's meant to be joyful, and it's okay if it's not joyful too. That's like a really cool space to go, okay, well, what are my points of views here? And you have the clearing stem, and you have the tools to clear this, and you also have the tools to out-create this as well. So can we destroy and create our relationship with our bank accounts right now? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So your play work for this week was to ask, if I was choosing for my body, what would I choose? If I was creating money for my body, what would I choose? And the second one, I I'm going to ask you to do, and do it a bit more mindfully, is can you destroy and create your relationship with your bank account every day, with money every day, with your body every day? Cash, wealth, jewels, all of that. Do it in the morning and do it at night. Destroy and create your relationship around all areas of money. Having it, not having it, all of that. And I wonder what that would start to create if you woke up every day with, ooh, what can we create together today? And I know a few weeks ago, like I used the analogy when I said, if money was your lover, what would you choose and how would you treat it? And one thing I got was not everybody relates to a lover. Like that was easy for me, but I want you to start getting like, what is the dearest thing in your life? Like, do you love gardening or the garden that makes you come alive, or an animal? Like it could be your dog, or it could be a horse. It could be something that really, you really cherish. Like it gives you such a delicious, yummy, expansive, generative energy in your entire being and body. Have you all got that reference point, whether it's an animal or a garden? Yeah? Does it light you up? How does it make you feel when you think of that thing? Whether it's a garden, the lover, or the animal? Yummy?
Expansive.
Yeah. So that's the energy we want to start creating, and that's the relationship we want to start creating with money. Now perceive your energy with money. Go back to perceiving your energy with the thing that you love, your lover, your dog, your garden. Okay, now go back to money. See the difference in the heaviness? So everywhere we have reference points around money. Can we destroy and create them? Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, if you had the same energy as you have towards your dogs, your horses, your gardens, as you did with money, what would your financial reality be like? Would it want to stay with you more and play with you more? Would it like to grow? Would it like to expand? Would it like to hang out with you and not leave you? Yeah, how much do your animals love you when you walk in through the door? What if you could be like that every morning with money? Like, hi, you are such a gift in my life. I adore you. And I love that you're in my life and you provide me with a home and you clothe me and you take care of me. So the willingness to be that energy with money that you have with the things that you adore and love. So that's your third play work. Is have that thing as a reference point and keep asking to have that with money. And ask your money, I want this amazing energy with you and I would like to be intimate with you in this way. I wonder what would change in your world if that's how you treated money. Would it change? Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, guys? We're going to call it a day in 3 minutes. Alrighty then. Well, what energy, space, and consciousness can you be to be the money magnets you truly be? Anything not allowing that, let's destroy it and create it. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your bodies be to receive more money, more joy, more freedom, more choice, more expansion with total ease? More delicious, more juicy, all of those things, all those receiving energies. Anything not allowing that, let's destroy it and create it. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And please, 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 please keep acknowledging everywhere you're choosing. The tiniest choices can create the most ginormous, ginormous, intense, different realities in our world. Please acknowledge them so the universe gives you more. I'll have more of that. So any last little things anybody's got to ask or share or do or say? I am so, so, so grateful for you all, and grateful for being in my life, and grateful for having this space for me to be able to be here. And what I love the most, like one of my most joyful things that makes me bounce out of bed in the morning is like literally to facilitate. Like it lights up every cell of my body. And it's nothing to do with anything other than every time I'm in this space, I get no choice but to be present and to be the being that I know that I am, and to get to be the space of consciousness that I know is possible. So I just want to say I'm so grateful for that space, and for you guys being willing and here and changing and creating and choosing. It really, like, it's the only real thing that has me wake up in the morning, and I can't explain how happy it makes me. But I think you might kind of get it. It brings me such joy. So thank you, thank you, thank you, like, for choosing and being in my world and being in my life. And I'm so grateful. And what else is possible for 2017? And what could we outcreate? And I wonder what our financial realities are going to be, because we keep choosing.
I just want to say thank you for your time and, all your good help and crowds and clearing that all. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Alex. It's like I said, it's like the greatest gift for me. It's the greatest gift. I just love it. And I love you. And I think you're all amazing. Such an amazing gift. All right, so we're all happy with our 3 playworks this week, and we're happy to play with that. And if you go back to any of the recordings and there's another playwork that jumps out at you, just choose that. Okay? I will talk to you in 2 weeks, and I'll keep posting things in the group. Are you enjoying that? Like occasionally just the clearing statements and the processes? One last thing, because I know Alex is really new to this, but when I posted the process that Gary sent out, and I said, put this on a loop, basically if you download an app where you can loop an audio, you can record it and have it play quietly in the background, and it continues to clear things. But that was a great clearing if you wanted to use that for the next 24 hours or month. Use it, and let's see what change it creates as well.
Okay, thank you. Just need to see how I can do a loop.
Yeah, like I think there's one I use as
White Noise.
Yeah.
The app, White Noise.
Ooh, White Noise.
Mm-hmm. And it just plays in the background. You just it just repeats.
All right.
It's great.
I have
and if you've got any things like during like the next 2 weeks, because we only talk every 2 weeks, if there's stuff coming up in your universe that's a celebration, pop it on there, because there's an energy when we're like all celebrating each other. And it just adds more. So feel free to hop in, or don't worry about it either way. It's just choice. And if there's stuff coming up where you're like, oh my God, I just having this thing around money, pop it up there, and somebody might have a great question or awareness that is happening in their universe at the same time, because we're so interconnected. And usually what's going on for somebody is going on for somebody else as well. So you're never alone. Alrighty. If there's no more questions, I shall talk to you in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Have a good night.
And guys, bar swap on Wednesday. Rebecca offered to run my bars on Wednesday. So I thought, because we're having foundation and it's been really juicy and dewy, you're very welcome to come down the hill for Tosca around 6:30 till 8, and we can just run bars. If you choose it, we can just do a nice bar swap. We could play a bit of Dane if you like. We could play a taster. Maybe we could play a Taste of Being Money.
Sure.
See if I can find one.
Okay.
Flight, feel free. I'll send you a little reminder. Okay.
Okay.
Big hugs. Love you guys so
Bye.
much. Go be
Bye.
money magnets.